Welcome to the Solo Grind, where we shine a light on the raw and real journey of being a solo entrepreneur. I am Teresa, your guide on this adventure of going it alone, without a safety net and without the rule book. The grind is real, my friend, and so are the wins, the freedom, and the joy of building success on your own terms. I'm here to debunk the myths, share some laughs, and share what it takes to thrive as a go-getter, busy, doing it all entrepreneur. Hello and welcome to the Solo Grind. I'm Teresa Schloop, your host, and I am so super excited that you are here with me today because today is kind of a big deal for me. But more on that here in just a moment. For those of you tuning in for the very first time, I'm so glad that you are here and it is so nice to meet you. As we're just meeting for the very first time, I thought I'd tell you a little bit about who I am and what I do. As I said, I'm Teresa Schloop, and I am the original caffeine creative. I'm a brand strategist, a web designer, and a digital marketing expert who works with interior designers and other service-based entrepreneurs to create websites and marketing plans that feel as good as they look. I love helping entrepreneurs align their digital presence with their own unique style, their voice, and how they want to show up. Because I want people to show up authentically and genuinely. Because I have learned through trial and error that that is the best way to attract your dream clients, is simply be the real you. So, that is a little bit about me and actually a little bit about what today's topic is all about. And that is connecting with those dream clients and doing so by showing up where they are, where you can make and create meaningful connections. But before we dive into today's topic, let me tell you why today is kind of a big deal. So, for those of you who joined me in the very beginning, you know that I promised to do 12 episodes of the Solo Grind. I didn't promise more because, to be honest, I didn't know if I was going to love this podcasting thing. I'm an indie podcaster, and so all the work is on my shoulders, from the planning, the recording, the editing, the marketing, and all the things in between. And I just didn't know if it was going to give me the return on investment that I was looking for. But I promised to give it my best shot for 3 months, 12 episodes, showing up weekly and sharing what I had to share. As I came to the end of that 12 weeks, I was going to make a decision. Do I have more to share? Do I want to continue this? Does this podcast give me the return on investment that I'm looking for? And that doesn't necessarily mean money. That's also the deposits to my soul bank, to my heart, to my satisfaction, to the work that I do and put out into the world. Or have I said everything that I want to say? And do I want to bring the solo grind to an end? So today is the big decision day when I have to say yes or no. Should I stay or should I go? Do I have more to share, more to say? And let me tell you, my friend, I actually do. While this podcast thing has been a lot of work, it is something that has fueled my drive in my business, in my mission, in my goals beyond imagining. It has filled my heart and soul bank, and it has helped me reconnect with some of the most amazing people that I have known. I have met new people through this podcast, and I am reaching the people that I love to support and serve. So, yes, there will be a season 2 of the Solo Grind. And in fact, I have a few more bonus episodes coming out beyond today. So, while I'm at episode 12, I have got a couple more episodes up my sleeve before we dive into season 2 in the new year, 2025. Can you believe we are already coming to 2025? It's a little hard for me to wrap my head around that, but there it is. And I hope you will join me in the new year as we continue on this solo entrepreneurial journey together and try and figure out how to make things work in a way that it feels good to who we are. All right. So, with our big announcement behind us, let's dive into today's topic. And that is really showing up where your people are and staying true to yourself in business. Or, as the title of this podcast says, stop trying to fit in and build a business that feels like you. Sometimes, as we're on this entrepreneur journey, we're going to come across a path that looks amazing, a path that feels like it is going to deliver all of our dreams. It has everything that we are looking for. It sparkles, it shines, and inside of our heart and mind, or at least our mind, maybe not our heart, but inside our mind, we are screaming, yes, this is the way to go. This is the direction that I need to go to level up my business. And I want to step back just a little bit because I said maybe not in our hearts. I truly believe that our heart never lies to us. Our heart knows what is going on and knows when things don't feel right and don't feel good. Our mind, however, loves to create chaos. And it loves to convince us that we don't know what we think we know and that we need to do what other people say. Our mind is a chatterbox constantly steering us this way and that, where our heart doesn't have to guess what direction we're going. It simply knows. And this actually isn't some crackpot idea that I've come up with or something that I just invented on my own. There's actually a study out there called Heart Intelligence where it focuses in on the flow of higher awareness and intuition and how we can achieve this by aligning our mind with our heart values. And if you want to know more about that, there's actually an institute called the Heart Math Institute that dives deep into the study of heart intelligence. So that is our little side note for today. And I share that because this is a part of my business and it's something that I've known for years. Back in my life coaching days, I studied heart intelligence and I really truly believe in it. And yet, despite how much I have studied it, how much I believe in it, how much I understand it, I still ignored it in a big decision I made in my business a couple years ago. And I found myself walking down the wrong path. Do you remember that path I was talking about just a moment ago, where it is the path that promises to deliver all of our dreams and it has everything that we are looking for? It is shiny, it is sparkly, it is new, it is exciting. And we dive down that path, begin running down that path, ready to achieve our dreams, and only to discover after a little bit that we're lost and we are on the wrong path. It's kind of like walking into a store and finding that perfect outfit. You know, the one that I'm talking about, an outfit that is your style, it is your colors. It looks like it was made for you, specifically for you, and it looks amazing hanging there on the rack or on the mannequin in the store. And you're so excited and you're going to splurge and you're going to buy this outfit, even when it's not in your budget at the moment. So you go and you try it on in the dressing room because you're excited to experience the wonders of this outfit, and it doesn't fit quite right. It's not as perfect as you thought, but yet you talk yourself into the outfit. You swipe the credit card, you make the purchase, you take it home, you wear it and pretend that you are comfortable. But deep down, you keep wishing you had left it at the store or chosen something that felt a lot more like you. That is what it feels like when your business isn't aligned with who you truly are. And as I said, I learned this the hard way just a couple years ago. A couple years ago, I was highly motivated, we will say, to accomplish something big. I was wanting to grow my business and I was kind of aggressively seeking new levels of success. And I say aggressive because I was all in and I wasn't necessarily looking from a place that was true to me. I was looking to prove something. I just spent, a couple years dealing with that whole pesky cancer thing and not being able to be myself and having to put a lot of dreams on hold and having to slow down in my business and step back, or at least that's what I believed. Looking back now, I totally rocked it that couple years, but at the time, I felt that I was behind and I felt like I had something to prove. And I was bound and determined that I was going to prove it. And so I started looking for a business retreat or in a conference or something. I wanted to put myself in a smarter room, is what I told myself. And so I was looking for people who had achieved what I considered at the time to be greater levels of success. And I found this retreat that seemed to be perfect for what I was looking for. As I said a moment ago, I was aggressively seeking success. And honestly, I had some blinders on because I was so zero focused in on trying to prove something to the world around me. I don't even know who I was trying to prove it to, but I was focused on proving something. And these blinders were so securely in place that I signed up for this event not knowing anything about it. I knew who the host was. He was an author that I have followed and that I honestly really enjoy. And I like his direct, no nonsense approach, although he's a little rough on most people. I knew the location, as in the city. It was going to be in Dallas, which was kind of perfect because my best friend Crystal, who we've all met, lives in Dallas. And that's all I knew. I did not know the location in Dallas. I did not know the agenda. I did not know who would be appearing as a guest speaker or what type of activities we would be doing. I didn't know anything. And I signed up. Like I said, my blinders were securely in place. And I thought, here's a smarter room. Here are smarter people. They know better than me. They are going to help me achieve this new level of success. And so I signed up and went to this event. As I'm settling into the first morning of this event, I'm looking around the room and I began to realize that I was really intimidated, on all honesty, and a little bit afraid. Now, I am typically a pretty confident person and I'm very comfortable speaking to groups, to people, to meeting new people. Like I thrive in that kind of environment. But I was sitting in a room with people whose books I had purchased and studied, whose programs I had bought and taken in my to build my own business, whose businesses I had watched and paid attention to and studied and admired. And I honestly believed that I had just stepped into a smarter room and that I was the dumbest person there. And it was intimidating. It was incredibly intimidating. And I started wondering, what in the heck am I doing here? Why did I come to this event? But I had invested my money. I had traveled. I had blocked the time off to participate in this event. So I thought, okay, I'm going to sit here and I'm going to see what I can get out of this event and I'm going to see what I can do. As I sat in that room listening to the guest speakers, listening to the people share, the other participants share, and really trying to put myself in that position, I started seeing myself as one of them, which, on the outside, it sounds like a really great thing. Oh, you see yourself as a more successful person. You see yourself as somebody higher, an upper level, or whatever the case was. But honestly, that was a lie that I was telling myself. While these people were incredibly successful, they were also incredibly nice, generous, kind, very giving of their expertise and knowledge, and very welcoming to me. I was forgetting one thing that I have shared with you that I want you all to do. I was not claiming my own success just because they had more visibility in the online world than I did. I assumed that they were a bigger success than me, and I wasn't looking at what I had accomplished. I wasn't seeing that I had just grown my business by an incredible amount while going through cancer and a global pandemic. I didn't see that I had clients who valued and appreciated me enough to refer me and to help continue building my business. I didn't see that I was delivering something really incredible and really amazing to the people that I meant to serve. I only saw that I was not like these people I had admired and that I was believing that I was not enough and that I needed to change and I needed to follow a new path and be like them. And it just so happened that there was a person in the event. Now, he's not as well known as some of the other people that were in attendance, but he had developed a very highly successful web design business model, very similar to my own. And he was so kind and generous with his time. He sat down and he showed me how he up leveled his business to where he was living his dream life and gave me the blueprint. I mean, he told me every step he took to take his business to the next level. And I walked away from that event feeling so inspired and convinced that I needed to follow this path. I mean, it was literally handed to me for free. The guy was very kind and generous. And why would I look a gift horse in the mouth? So, walking away from that event, I decided that I was going to take a step away from being presenting myself as a solo entrepreneur and I was going to present myself as a marketing agency. And I was toying around with the idea of actually developing and building a full agency, bringing in full time staff members at some point, things of that nature. On paper, everything seemed like the perfect next step. Like I said, I had this blueprint of how to do things. I had resources, and he was very generous and kind with his time and willing to be there for me as I was building and growing and shifting and changing my business. So I had this amazing opportunity, what I thought, to grow my business to the next level. But here is where I went wrong. As I said before, I was 100% aggressively seeking growth and trying to prove something, and I was all in my head. I was not listening to my heart. I was not following my own advice. And the advice that I'm talking about is advice that I give to myself, my kids, my clients, to everyone. And it's simply this: do not take advice from someone who isn't living the life that you dream about. This person who gave me his blueprint is living an incredible life, and I'm so happy for him and his family. He has everything that he wanted in life and at that time and was striving to new levels of success. But he wasn't living the life that I dream of. His life and what he how he lives spends his days is so very different than what I want to be. Okay? He was striving to create an agency that ran itself so that he could spend more time at home with his young children and not have to work so hard. I love working. I love meeting with my clients. I love building new relationships with my clients. I love coming up with the design. I love coming up with the marketing plan, with all of those things. Why was I trying to create a business that put me on the outside of it? It made no sense, but yet I was not listening to my heart or taking my own advice, and I was convinced I needed to do this. I went through a whole entire rebrand and began positioning myself as an agency. While behind the scenes, I started researching how to grow my team, how to bring in the right people so that I could work less. Okay. And build this dream that had been laid out for me. And I'll admit, initially, I thought that I had done something good. When I launched the new brand, when I launched the new model of being an agency, there was a lot of people who stepped up and were excited for me. There was a lot of people who recognized that I was the success. And I was like, okay, I just proved myself, right? I was so excited because I had set out to prove something and I had proved it. I am a new level of success, world. Look at me and give me credit. And so again, it looked good initially, but it didn't take long for me to start realizing and to start hearing what my heart had to say and that things just weren't quite right. Yes, it looked good on paper. Yes, I felt like I had accomplished something and that I had proven something to the world that the world didn't need me to prove, but it wasn't me. It wasn't genuine to me. And that became very apparent within a few months, in all honesty. First off, I started attracting the clients that are not in alignment with what I have to share and what I have to offer. Some of the people that I attracted were honestly incredibly rude and had some very unrealistic expectations of what I could do. And part of that is me. I presented myself as this agency with a team. And while I had team members helping me and I was presenting them, they were very, very, very part time. It was still 90, 95% all me. So I'm attracting people and they have an expectation that I can deliver something that I wasn't prepared to deliver. Also, they were my people. Like I said, they weren't in alignment with what I have to offer. They weren't in alignment with the services that feed my soul that I love to deliver each and every day. They were looking for something different than what I was willing to offer. So it wasn't a good fit. It also wasn't in alignment with my personal values. I have built my business on my own personal values, and these values are not just my business values, but my life values as well. And one of them is being authentic. I want you to always see the real me, whether we connect through this podcast or through social media, you decide to hop on a consult with me, or I meet you in the grocery store and discuss cantaloupes with you, whatever the case is. Wherever I meet you, I want you to know the real me and always see the real me. And presenting myself as an agency was so inauthentic to who I was, who I wanted to be, and the business that I wanted to grow that I was 100% out of alignment. Well, maybe not 100%, but I was out of alignment with my own personal core values. And as a result of that, I began to shrivel a little bit. I started to lose my voice. I lost a lot of my confidence. I didn't feel like I knew how to speak to about myself or about my business or to connect with the people that I really wanted to serve. And I felt like I was just lost in a sea of something that was not me, for lack of a better word. So eventually, I realized that I had to pivot. I had to turn and undo the things that I had done. I had to turn in a new direction and I had to get back on the right path and get back on the road that was 100% me. So that's what I did. I let go of that agency model and I returned to being the solo entrepreneur that I love to be. I love sharing who I am genuinely. I love doing the work that I do. I don't need somebody to do the work for me. I want to do it myself. I want the sense of accomplishment at the end of the day that I have shown up and served the people that I am meant to serve in a really amazing way. And that's who I am. Now, here's the really cool thing that has happened since making that shift back to positioning myself as the solo entrepreneur that I love being. First of all, I found my voice again. I had not even realized how much I was hiding from the world because I didn't feel like I had a genuine, authentic voice anymore. And I really was hiding in a very big way. I also started feeling confident again in who I am as a business, who I am as a person, and who I am just in general. Found my confidence and reclaimed that. I also was able to remember the value that I get from building real, genuine relationships with the clients that I have. And they come to me because of who I am genuinely, because I am that solo entrepreneur, because I know what it's like to be on my own. Because I know what it's like to struggle and to deal with the loneliness and the doubts and the imposter syndrome and all of the things that come with being a solo entrepreneur. I remembered all of that. And then finally, I remembered that my success can only be defined by me. Yes, this person and this retreat that I went to, they shared some incredible inspiration and they were kind and they were generous and they want me to succeed. They also want me to succeed on my own terms and they never wanted me to mold myself into something different. They wanted me to be me, and I forgot that when I was there. All right, my friend, that brings us to the end of today's episode. And as we wrap things up, there are three key takeaways that I just want to share again. First off, is stay true to yourself. Yes, there are going to be people out there that you see that you believe have achieved a higher level of success. But if their success doesn't feel quite right, it's not the path for you. So don't feel like you have to follow them, like you have to do what others do to find your own success. Carve your own path because that is where your success lies. Secondly, I'm going to say show up where your people are and focus your energy on the places where your dream clients are hanging out. I, as an agency, was trying to show up in different ways and different places and different things, and my people were not there. And even when I did show up where my people were, they did not hear what I was sharing because it wasn't their message. So show up where your people are and talk directly to them. Don't try to be somebody you're not. Finally, alignment is everything. When you are genuine and authentic to who you really are and to what you want to put out into the world, you are naturally going to attract the clients and the opportunities that are meant for you. You don't have to prove anything to anybody, and you don't have to exhaustively search for something new. Be who you are, and things are going to show up when they're meant to do so. All right. So thank you guys so much for tuning into this episode of the Solo Grind. I hope that it has given you a little food for thought and that it is helping you take things to the level of success that you are meant to have. If you want to chat with me or want to just talk about new levels of success or pivoting or anything like that, I would love to hear from you. I have got my contact information in the show notes and it's easy for you to connect. Lastly, I want to share a little bit about next week's episode because I will be here next week. And next week, I have a guest. This is my good friend, my colleague, my business coach, Nancy Ganzikoffer. And Nancy is going to be talking to us about profitability. And let me tell you this, if you do not have the level of profitability that you are striving for, or you are not running a profitable business, you have got to tune into next week's episode because Nancy is brilliant when it comes to helping you position yourself, price yourself, and start bringing in the work that you are meant to do. So you definitely want to tune into next week. All right. Until we meet again, my friends, stay true to your vision and remember your success can only be defined by you. And I believe in you. Thanks for tuning in to the Solo Grind. I hope this episode brought you some inspiration and encouragement. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe, rate, and review the podcast, and feel free to share. For more tips and insights, visit caffeinecreative.io to check out my blog or explore the Creative Vault, my free course library. You can also find me on Facebook and Instagram. I'd love to hear how this episode has helped you.